Good morning, everybody. We're off. Award season has officially begun. The Golden Globes is still the first out of the gate. Thank you for joining me for an early morning live stream so that we could go over these nominations for both film and television. We're going to have a hot time this morning. As you can see, we're going to play our favorite game, Who Should Win and Who Will Win. But of course, we have a couple of other things to discuss first. I want to start with gifting some memberships. I want to thank Art Lover for gifting a membership, and Jesse, thanks for joining. All right, but let me gift 5 memberships because it's technically the first stream of the week. Here we go. All right, so there we go. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to, of course, I love the interactive quality of the live stream. I'm going to focus a lot on my reporting for the first part of this. But then, of course, at the end, as always, there'll be an awards Ask Me Anything because, I want to thank you for tuning in live. Hey, Jenna, thanks for gifting a membership. All right, so let's get started. Where do I want to start our conversation? Well, the Golden Globe ceremony is on Sunday, January 5th, hosted by Nikki Glazer, who, of course, really, she's been it's a weird year for roast comics. Of course, that one comic made quite the impression at that Trump rally at Madison Square Garden. Trump still won. And Nikki Glazer really made a name for herself at Tom Brady's roast. She really did a phenomenal job. But it's a new space for her. And, I think they're hoping for some Ricky Gervais style naughtiness. That's, it's a fine line to walk in the room. But it is a very exciting opportunity for her. And I think that she could potentially do an amazing job. And it could be a really big breakout moment for her. Interestingly, the Critics' Choice Awards hosted by Chelsea Handler. I'm a member of Critics' Choice, by the way. We went over my nominations on Friday. Very similar presentations, and Critics' Choice is the Sunday after. When Golden Globes kind of imploded and looked like they were going to go under, Critics' Choice has been hoping that we could swoop in there and be the new Golden Globes. We do film and television as well. But the Golden Globes, as I recently said, just won't die. And they're still in it. Although I'm very proud that Critics' Choice has gained substantially in terms of traction and mainstream and being part of the mainstream discussion when it comes to the awards circuit. So very exciting times. All right, so 6 nominations in each category. I've probably said it before and I'm going to say it again. 6 nominations, in my opinion, is cheating because it's just too many. I think they feel it allows them to put in a wild card, but it just is too many. I think it creates a situation where everybody gets there's very few snubs, as you're gonna see, and also I think it makes it hard to vote. I think it kind of dilutes the vote because there's just too many options. I agree with what you guys are saying, Lloyd and Big League Chew. 5 is the number. The Oscars is 5 for every category except for Best Picture, which they've expanded to 10. And they only did that after they snubbed The Dark Knight, and everybody got very upset with them. But, I still think 10 is also too many. There's just films in there that are just in there to get I think it should be 5. It's a competition. Not everybody's going to walk home with a trophy or even a nomination. And it should be 5. You're going to see when you look at these nominations, you're going to be like, 6 is way too many. All right, let's go over first the tallies. Okay, so Emilia Perez, that's interesting. Many people thought maybe Emilia Perez, particularly in a Trump 2.0 world, would maybe fall away. But not with the Golden Globes, baby. 10 nominations, a new record for the most that a film, I think particularly a comedy or musical, has ever had. That's incredible. Let me get my little arrow here. These are in alphabetical order, by the way, if you're wondering why Wicked is so low. But it is only in the 4 group. Brutalist, I told you Brutalist and Conclave were hot movies. Anora is holding. at least with the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes sometimes, they're a little more forward-thinking than the Academy, although the Academy's trying to fix that with how many new members they've let in over the past few years. The Substance, big year for horror, baby. The Substance is really high up there. I'm surprised Challengers did as well as it did. And then there are some films that you would think would be a little higher, like A Complete Unknown, a little lower on the list. But that's really phenomenal for Emilia Perez. That's quite the feather in that film's cap. Now let's look at the television tallies. I had to do these myself, God damn it. All right, usually I can just yoink. I wrote these out. But usually I can yoink someone else's tallies really quickly, but nobody did the TV, I think because they're in 3 separate categories. So right before we went live, I was quickly trying to figure them out. All right, so Netflix leads overall. Netflix has the most nominations. They still know what they're doing. Drama, so I did them in groups, drama, comedy, and limited series. Hey, Kelsey. So drama, Shogun is still leading the way. I'm so happy for The Diplomat. I'm so happy for The Diplomat. Oh, please watch The Diplomat. Season 1 was good, but season 2, ooh, so hot, so good. Please watch it. I'm so happy to see it get recognition. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you see a couple of shows here. Only one for House of the Dragon. It was not that bad a season. With comedy, The Bear is still leading the way, but I think because The Bear, season 3 was so awful, I think that it's going to hopefully open up this category. So maybe some more people. Yeah, that's right, David. The Diplomat season finale is what really puts it over the top. So anyway, The Bear, hopefully they'll open up this category because everybody now thinks it's not maybe the best show ever. That's right, Mary. Oh, I forgot in terms of snubs. I didn't really think of TV snubs too much. That's right. Interview with the Vampire didn't get anything here. But Critics' Choice remembered it. That's too bad. So you can see here, Agatha got 1. Although not for Patti LuPone. I'm pretty excited. Sorry, Patti LuPone. She has enough awards. That's right. The Boys was also snubbed. But The Boys has never been a strong front runner. Well, we'll talk about snubs more in a moment. With limited series, Baby Reindeer is still leading the way, but I'm so happy to see Monsters, the Kyle and Lyle Menendez story, doing so well. I'm so happy. There's Penguin, very strong in the limited series category. So a lot of hard choices are ahead of us here. All right, now let's talk snubs. People love to snubs. People love to talk about snubs, and the 2 biggest snubs are in the directing category for not only Denis Villeneuve, he just can't get no respect, and John M. Chu for Wicked. Neither one of them received a directing nomination, and both directed these big opuses that were commercial hits. And I voted for Denis for Critics' Choice for director nomination, but I feel bad about the John Chu situation, especially because I've been watching Wicked many times. Listening to Wicked. I've decided I also, What Is This Feeling is now also one of my favorite songs. So I'm maybe he should be nominated, but it's tough. I think that, they should take some solace in the fact that their films are so heavily nominated. Although, it's if that was you wouldn't have the solace. But neither one of them got nominated. Then, as for films, thank you, Zare. Blitz, Apple TV, they sure got problems. First, they can't make any money or get anybody to watch their stuff. And now they're not even getting the noms, man. They're not even getting the noms, at least in the film division. So Blitz, totally blitzed out. Nosferatu, as many of you already noticed, Nosferatu, nada. But I got to tell you, I think that's because of the lack of craft categories. I feel that Nosferatu will dominate in that area. I told you the acting was weak. A lot of you, particularly film Twitter, was like, oh, what are you talking about? And I was like, it's not, the weakest part of the movie is the acting. And of course, that's where the Golden Globe nominations really come into play. I'm telling you, I do think Nosferatu will probably hopefully get an Oscar nomination or 2, but it will be in craft. And the reason there are no craft categories for Golden Globes is because they want to have television. So they got rid of craft nominations so they can do that. Zare, we're going to talk about that in just a moment. That's a great question. Saturday night, they do have one nomination for actor with Gabriel LaBelle, but overall, this has been largely ignored, which I'm not surprised because I think it's a truly awful film. I think it's just really bad. All right. And then, so I feel very vindicated a lot today. Then, yes, Fallout. I think that while they're like The Boys obviously got snubbed and Interview with the Vampire, I think the reason Fallout is so shocking is because it got so many Emmy nominations. So the fact that this really seemed to break through with the Television Academy and that it does not have anything, and that it didn't do well here, I think is one of the reasons that makes it so surprising. So yeah, Palm Royale, that's right, David Kyle. There are a lot, there's just too much good stuff out there. All right, now Squid Game. A lot of you are wondering, how the heck Squid Game only got one nomination? And I think that's partially because it is not released yet, and also because the competition is just so tough. But Squid Game only got one nomination, and the reason it could get a nomination, though, is because it's coming out within the calendar year. The Emmys kind of makes everything messed up because the Emmys has like these weird timetables where they don't do the calendar year. And so that's why there's these weird overlaps. And, people, like, when you watch the Emmys, they're like, no, these are awards for The Bear Season 1. And you're like, but I just watched The Bear Season 2. And they're like, well, whatever. And I think I think that, that the Emmys is really what's messing everybody up. So the reason the Squid Game Season 2 is eligible is because, again, it comes out right at the very end of the calendar year. The same way that A Complete Unknown and The Brutalist have a lot of nominations, even though they have not been released publicly yet. So, Lisa, what do you mean? The Emmys are coming out. Yeah, the Emmys will come out. I forget when they are exactly. We just had them, basically. They're usually in the fall, like in September. But anyway, I think they're trying to run with the TV season, the old-fashioned TV season, come to think of it, but streaming has really messed them up. But yes, this show technically comes out on December 26, 2024, so it qualifies for the Golden Globes. All right, and Critics' Choice, but we didn't nominate it for anything, which made me sad. All right, so let's go through these Golden Globe nominations, baby, and let's start with the weirdest of them all, Box Office Cinematic Achievement. It's the dumbest thing ever, man. Hold on, let me move my stars to the right place. Should and will win. Have to go on the top here. All right, so not only is this a stupid award, which I'm sure like any movie that has an actual shot doesn't want, like Wicked's like, stay away from me. Because you might remember this was the consolation prize last year for poor Barbie. They were like, here you go, Barbie. And Barbie was like, thank you. All right, so the reason this category makes no sense is that they don't even have some of the biggest performers in the category. Like, for instance, Moana 2 just delivered the biggest Thanksgiving in Hollywood history at the box office, and it's not nominated? That's insane that Moana 2 isn't on this list. I mean, why is Alien Romulus on the list and not Moana 2? I mean, they're really giving away the fact that this is just the catch-all category to get some fan favorites in here that they otherwise wouldn't really nominate. So how do you go with this? Is it a slam dunk for Inside Out 2 because that is the biggest grossing film of the year? Or do you put a little nuance on it? And do you go, well, maybe Deadpool and Wolverine? Because Deadpool and Wolverine was such a big deal, in the way they tied into Comic-Con and they created like this huge frenzy. But then also, what about Wicked? Wicked has been selling out showtimes every night, even on weekdays, and creating these amazing experiences within the theater. So I guess the cinematic element, MM92, is what makes them not have to necessarily give it to the actual biggest grossing film. So to me, I'll be really honest with you, and I feel bad because I don't want it to hurt it in the other categories, but I kind of feel it should go to Wicked because I think Wicked just created the whole experience. I would go Wicked or Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought that these movies were event films. I think they created a party at the theater, and that is really what the industry needs. So that's how I think that it should go. So again, I should have given myself more stars on this. But yes, Deadpool and Wolverine or Wicked is who I think should win. As for who will win, Inside Out 2 technically is the biggest grossing film of the year. But I think they might give it to Deadpool and Wolverine because they want Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman to go up there and accept the award, potentially. So I think it'll be between it'll be a Disney movie. I think it'll be one of those two films. I think it'll be Inside Out 2 or Deadpool and Wolverine, to be honest with you. So we'll see who gets it. All right, so next category. Oh, here we go. All right, so Best Picture Drama. Now remember, in the film category, the Golden Globes splits it into drama and musical comedy so that they can nominate more movies and get more stars to attend their show. That's why they do it, but they don't split it in supporting actor for some reason. And they don't do it in director or screenplay or anything like that. It's just for picture and the lead actor performances. All right, so as you can see, Golden Globes, Best Picture Drama. Ooh. Who should? I mean, I'm surprised it's September 5th. That's a big win for September 5th and Nickel Boys to get in here. That's right, Psycho. Sing Sing is but wouldn't that be a musical, technically? Is it in the musical category? I forget off the top of my head. I was putting this together so quickly. All right, for who should win? I have to say I think it's The Brutalist should win. But I think this is an incredibly difficult category. I think The Brutalist should win, and I'm going to be honest with you. I think it probably will win. I think that Conclave is the only potential upset here. But I think The Brutalist is incredibly strong, really strong. I think it'll be The Brutalist or Conclave. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be upset with either one. I think both of them are exceptional. I really like A Complete Unknown, and I'm so glad that it was nominated, but I don't think that it's going to win. So yeah, but I do think it'll be The Brutalist in this category. All right, so let me move my little stars over here. All right, so next up, we're gonna do each section. So Best Actor in a Drama, okay? There's Coleman Domingo. He did get nominated for actor. Sebastian Stan, by the way, double nominated, baby. Sebastian Stan is nominated not only in the drama, but also in the comedy musical category. Sebastian Stan, nobody willing to do the actors on actors with him is probably the best thing that ever happened to his career. I think it really gave him a lot of people felt sympathy for him, and I think that is amazing. Isn't it interesting that Sebastian Stan has taken the most risks? He, in fact, talked about that recently. I saw an interview with him where a studio executive told him not to play Trump because it was too risky, and his response was, doesn't that mean it's exactly why I should do it? And I can't believe that, out of all the actors working in the MCU, Sebastian Stan might end up being, the big, serious actor. Good for him! Good for him! All right, so as for who should win, I don't think he should win, though. I think that it's Timothée Chalamet. I mean, I love Adrian Brody. I love Ralph Fiennes. But once you see A Complete Unknown, you will also agree, how could anybody else possibly win this thing? As for who will win, it's, here's the thing. I think it probably is Timothée Chalamet. And I think that Ralph Fiennes and Adrian Brody have very strong potential. However, if Sebastian Stan is double nominated, that means they're feeling a lot of love for him over there. And I gotta say, Golden Globes so white, they're pretty white this year. So I think that Coleman Domingo, he's having a moment now. His Netflix show is doing very well. I could maybe see him winning this. I honestly feel this category, I don't think Daniel Craig is going to win, but I think this category otherwise is very wide open, particularly because of these ridiculous 6 nominations. All right. Next up, actress in a drama. Pam Anderson. I'm so happy for her. I voted for her as well. Pamela Anderson, last Showgirl. Oh, that's exciting stuff. Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here. I saw some of you were really pulling for her. Kate Winslet, she got a lot of surprising nominations. And I got to tell you, she got nominated for some pretty crappy stuff. So I guess Frances Fisher or whatever? I guess she does have some pull because Kate Winslet enlisted her to help her out. Hilarious. All right, so who's gonna win? As for who should win, I don't really love anybody in this category. I'm gonna go with Pamela Anderson, darn it, just because I think it's fun. I think Pamela Anderson, I haven't seen Maria though, to be fair. It's on my watch list. I haven't seen Maria just yet, although I hear the movie itself is not very good. I think Pamela Anderson did a wonderful job in The Last Showgirl. She'll break your heart. I thought she was a surprisingly good actress, and I just think it would be fun. All right, but as for who will win, Nicole Kidman or Angelina Jolie. But I think it's going to be Nicole Kidman. I think her performance in Baby Girl is quite good. I nominated her as well. That's right, future movie actor Kirsten Dunst shut out. But Zendaya is nominated. That's in a different category for some stupid reason. But yeah, so I don't know how they determine who's in what category. It's as stupid as television when they put the bear in the comedy section. But I think, maybe you guys are right. Maybe it'll be Fernanda. But I think it's going to be Nicole Kidman. She won at Venice. It's a really brave performance. And I got to tell you, the last line of the movie, the last scene, as I've said, is a real mic drop. And it's very good. I think Baby Girl is pretty good. It didn't make my best movies of the year list, but I respect it. So let's see. All right, we'll see. All right. Next up, Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. See, there's Challengers. Challengers is a comedy, apparently. Makes no sense. All right. So, I got to tell you. Now, as for who should win, I'm sorry. I think Wicked should win. I think Wicked is a really strong film. I think it just has everything going for it. I'm a big fan of what they accomplished there. Do I think it will win? I think there's a chance it will win. However, you can't deny that Emilia Perez has the most nominations in history of the Golden Globes for a musical or comedy. I think it's going to probably win then. So I think that it's going to be Emilia Perez. Thank you, Wes the Best. That's very generous of you. I do think there's some chance that Anora could take it. But yeah, I agree with Lloyd. It's Emilia Perez versus Anora. For the substance, the nomination is the win. Hey, Matthew. Thanks for joining. But yeah, I'm surprised A Real Pain made it in here. I didn't particularly care for A Real Pain. But yeah, so that's what I think is the situation on this one. All right. Now, actor in a musical or comedy. Oh no, this is television series. Why did I mess this up? Just give me a minute. How embarrassing. Hold, please. And then wait a second, I gotta move it to the right place. Sorry to show you behind the curtain like this. There we go. Now I gotta go back to where I was. There we go. Whew! Pardon me. All right, I must have mislabeled them. I got confused. I was like, do I have two film comedy here? And then I made a mistake, and I'm sorry. Whoa, Blix! Making it rain. Making it rain, Blix. That's very generous of you. All right. So, who should win? Look at this. This is a weird category. Everybody went nuts. Where's my arrow? Everybody went nuts that Hugh Grant is in here for Heretic. What the what? This is such a weird category. Hugh Grant for Heretic, Gabriel LaBelle with the one nomination for Saturday Night, Jesse Plemons, the one nomination for Kinds of Kindness, Glenn Powell for Hitman, that barely even was in theaters, and then there's Sebastian Stan's second nomination. That's nuts. All right, so as for who should win, oh my gosh. I guess I'll go with Sebastian Stan. Maybe this is the category he'll win because he got two nominations. So I think this is a ridiculous grouping. So he should win. So yeah, as for who, that's who I think should win. I do like Hugh Grant. Who said Hugh Grant for laughs? Lloyd, that's pretty funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny. But as for who will win, I think it's probably Sebastian's Blix again. My God, Blix, the generosity has bowled me over. So kind. That's 100 memberships gifted by Blix today. Wow, talk about golden. Thank you so much. That is so generous of you. All right, so as for who will win, hey, Charles, thanks. Welcome back. I think it'll be Sebastian Stan, or I agree with you. I think some of you are right. Maybe Jesse Eisenberg, potentially. He must be doing a great job on the awards circuit, because he got a surprising number of nominations for a movie that I think is only mediocre. So yeah, he's been campaigning very hard, and he directed it and he wrote it. But I think it's probably going to be Sebastian Stan, to be honest with you. I think they just wanted Glenn Powell at the show. They want Glenn Powell on the red carpet. I think that's why they did that. Okay. Next, actress in a musical or comedy. There she is. Cynthia Erivo. Yay, woohoo. But, this is a big deal. Carla Sofia Gascon is a trans actress, and to see her nominated in this category is a big frickin' deal. Mickey Madison, is it Mickey or Mikey? Mickey Madison did get nominated, as did Demi Moore, as did Zendaya, and somehow Amy Adams got in here. So Amy Adams, though, she's really highly regarded, so I can understand that. As for who should win, I think Cynthia Erivo should win. I just think she did an incredible job. I think that she was just phenomenal in the film, and I'd really very much like to see her win. However, I feel she's a long shot to actually win. As for who will win, I think it's between Carla Sofia Gascon and Mickey Madison. Again, Demi Moore being nominated is the win. This is really going to help her career. So I think it's going to be Carla or Mickey Madison. That's what I think. I think those are the will wins. I hope it would be Cynthia Erivo, but I think not likely. All right, so next category. All right. Best supporting actor in any movie. They're done with dividing it, okay? So I go Denzel Washington. Again, I think it's out of respect for him being Denzel Washington and the fact that they need a little more color in these nominations as to why he got this nomination. Because it's not a good movie. He is the best thing in it. But, there are other movies, though. Someone mentioned that The Piano Lesson was totally shut out. There's Nickel Boys. I think there are other people who could have been nominated. But, the Golden Globes, they're a pushover for star power. All right, so this is, I got to tell you, who the heck is Yura Borisolov? He's the young henchman in Anora, who is amazing in that movie. Talk about somebody who should be getting some work in Hollywood. So I'm really happy to see him getting recognition. I'm very happy. All three of the guys that I nominated for Best Supporting, Edward Norton, Guy Pearce, and Jeremy Strong, are all here. That's big for Jeremy Strong. He and Sebastian Stan bet very hard in being in that Trump movie, The Apprentice, and it really has paid off for them, at least here with these nominations. Now, as for who should win, I think it should be Guy Pearce for The Brutalist. I think he was just phenomenal there. As for who will win, I think it's going to be Kieran Culkin or Edward Norton. I wish it was, I would be delighted if Guy Pearce actually won. But I think Kieran Culkin's just winning too many other awards. I think it's really hard for him to, I think he's just doing a Zach Galifianakis impression, so that's why I didn't vote for him. I love Kieran Culkin. Love the guy. But I just think I don't think this is a good performance from him. And Edward Norton is really strong. So I think it'll be one of these two who will actually win. All right. Then Best Supporting Actress in any movie. This is also all over the place. Although, look again, Margaret Qualley, also for The Substance. You guys are probably so happy about that. And Selena Gomez, hot off of The Nicest Man in Showbiz, Eugenio Derbez, saying mean things about her. What was that all about? She got a nomination. So good for her. I don't know, everybody's always given Selena Gomez a problem. I'm glad she's finally getting recognized for her work. That's right, David. Double nominee, but not in one section. She's in both film and television. For those of you who didn't hear, like Linzek, Eugenio Derbez was doing an interview, and he highly criticized Selena Gomez for her acting in Spanish, saying it was clearly not a language that she understood. And he really was mean about it. I've never seen Eugenio Derbez be mean about anything before. He apologized. And Selena Gomez, I felt so bad for her. She said, I did the best. She said she did the best she could with the time that she was given. And I'm like, oh, don't even answer that, Selena. I felt very bad for her. So I'm so happy to see her nominated here. She ain't going to win. Oh, apparently Eugenio Derbez is not nice. I've interviewed him. I thought he was a sweetheart, but apparently he's a meanie. What is he, like the James Corden? The James Corden of Mexico, where you're like, you take him, we don't like him. I like both Eugenio Derbez and James Corden. Okay. Who should win? Ariana Grande, no question in my mind. Ariana Grande is incredible in this movie. She is the movie, I think, in many ways. She and Cynthia Erivo, and I think they should win. But Hollywood often doesn't like when people are really successful. So they're like, the money was the reward for you. That's what you get. So I think that this could probably go to someone else. Who's going to get it? I think that it's going to be Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. Just as Liam said. This, obviously, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association loves this movie, and Zoe Saldana was a front runner to begin with. So I think it should be Ariana Grande, but I think it's going to end up being Zoe Saldana. So yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. All right, next category. Here we go. Best Director. Who got into this category, man? All right, so as you can see, Emilia Perez, Anora. They love these two movies. Edward Berger for Conclave, as I would have thought. That's right, no women, Lloyd, but that's fixed in the screenwriting category. Brady Corbett for The Brutalist. Oh, no, there is a woman. Coralie Fargiat for The Substance. I got to tell you, I think The Substance is this year's Anatomy of a Fall. Anatomy of a Fall really undercut Barbie last year. And I think that, but it was a female filmmaker. She ended up doing quite well. Maybe The Substance, therefore, will surprise us in that regard. But I think that's this year's Anatomy of a Fall. Now I must watch it because it has so many nominations. You got me. You got me. I gotta watch it before I vote. All right. My ballot, I have to vote starting January 3rd. So I don't want to watch The Substance during Christmas, so I can watch it after Christmas. Thank goodness. Okay. And then we have a non-English language director here, Payal Kapadia for All We Imagine as Light. All right, so who do I think should win this thing? I think it should be hands down Brady Corbett for The Brutalist. Incredibly well-directed film, big star. As for who will win it, I think it's going to maybe be, again, they love Emilia Perez, love that, but it could also be Sean Baker. I think it might be one of these two or Brady Corbett. Who would have been taken out? Who would you have taken out to put John Chu or Denis in here? That's tough. I might have taken out Sean Baker, although maybe they're saying that it was... Mary, you obviously haven't seen The Brutalist. But maybe they're feeling it's the directing of the actors that is key. But, yeah, maybe I would have taken out the Emilia Perez director. Maybe I would have taken out the top two. Probably the top two. I would have taken out the top two. And I would have put both John Chu and Denis in there. But they're not there. They'll be at the awards show, though, for sure. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Payal Kapadia is also a woman. That's great. That's two women in the category. Ooh, that's why John Chu and Denis aren't in there. Okay. Then best screenplay. They do not do. Oh, Brad, congratulations! Ah, you're about to have a baby. Congrats. Oh, that's wonderful. Maybe you'll name them after one of the nominees. Meet my baby, Emilia Perez. All right. All right, so they do not do adapted or original. There's just one screenplay award. Now, this is pretty interesting. I think you don't see a huge number of surprises here. As for who should win, I'm going to go again with The Brutalist. Incredibly well-written movie. Very, very well-written. So I think that's right, future movie actor. The Joker was totally shut out. Look at everybody sending love to Brad. Woohoo, hooray. All right, so yes, I think Brady Corbett and Mona Fastvold should win for The Brutalist, but I don't think they're gonna. I think there's a very good chance it's Emilia Perez. I think it could be Anora. I think it could be Jesse Eisenberg for A Real Pain. I think it could be Coralie Farragut for The Substance. I think this might be what she wins. I think this might be the award they give to The Substance. And I think it could maybe be Conclave, but basically anybody but The Brutalist, quite frankly. Even though I think that's the best screenplay in the group. All right, then we've got Best Animated Motion Picture. All right, so again, with 6 nominees, everybody gets to participate. That sucks. Just one of these should have not been in there, man. All right, so who do I think should win? I think that the movie that should win is Inside Out 2. I just feel it is the best of these films. I'll be honest. As for who will win, I think it's either Flow or The Wild Robot. It depends if they want to go truly indie or if they want to go with a movie that's still in Hollywood but has indie sensibilities. That might be hard to pass up, but I think it's either Flow or The Wild Robot. All right. Disney. I'll tell you one thing. I don't think Disney's winning this. The very fact that Moana 2 got nominated, though, is a win for Disney. They're like, woohoo! Suck that, critics. This isn't the Critics' Choice nominations. All right, this is the Golden Globes, baby. All right, non-English language motion picture. All We Imagine Is Light from India. Emilia Perez from France, actually, even though it's Spanish language. The Girl with the Needle from Denmark. I'm Still Here from Brazil. The Seed of the Sacred Fig from Germany. And Familio from Italy. I haven't seen any of these. I've seen Emilia Perez at this point. But yeah, it's going to be Emilia Perez. That saves me. Emilia Perez. It has the most nominations, and I think that it should and will win. So, but congratulations to all the nominees. All right. No real big... I guess Emilia Perez is the breakout, like Anatomy of a Fall last year. All right, then next up, Best Song. They found some songs. And of course, duh, Emilia Perez has songs. All right, so you've got The Last Showgirl, Miley Cyrus's, is that her? Yeah, Miley Cyrus, that's her song. I don't even remember it in the movie. So anyway, I'm not a big music person, though, to be fair. Compress, Repress from Challengers. Who was singing a song in Challengers? I just thought it was a score. I don't remember anybody actually singing. Then Emilia Perez for El Mal. Forbidden Road from A Better Man. Kiss the Sky from The Wild Robot. And then Mi Camino from Emilia Perez. What was the song about the trans operations? I wish that actually would win if they're going to vote for a song. I mean, at least that was extremely original. But I don't think that's nominated. I don't think that's one of the songs, is it? All right, so, oh my God, it's like just throwing darts here, man. Ben 10, none of the Wicked songs are original songs. They were all written for Broadway, so none of them are eligible. All right, so everybody thinks Kiss the Sky should win. I don't have a horse in this race, so let's go with Kiss the Sky. It should win from The Wild Robot. Woohoo, woohoo. As for who will win, I think it's going to be an Emilia Perez song. So pick one of these two. You guys think it'll be Mi Camino? Probably. I think that's what it's going to be. Is that the Selena Gomez and Zoe Saldana rap song? That sounds pretty good, actually. All right. I like that, Carlo. Everybody's like, man, at least your to-watch list has narrowed down. You know, like what you got to watch. All right, so then I think there's one last one for film, score, and then we're going to move over to TV. Whew, it's like a marathon, man. All right, so best score. Look, woohoo. Hans Zimmer got nominated for Dune Part 2, even though it was just announced that he is disqualified from the Oscars. Boo! Boo! It's ridiculous that he's disqualified. The Oscar feels that he reused way too much of the original Dune score so that it doesn't count. Whatever, man. All right, so you can see here you've got the Wild Robot, the Brutalist. Oh, the Brutalist is so good. Conclave. These are very, very good. These are excellent. Chris, I'm not sure how you allow gifted memberships, but you've got one. I think you Google if you want to gift it, you press on the little dollar sign there for gifting memberships. But if you want to open yourself up to receive gifts, just Google it and it'll tell you how to do it. All right. Who should win? Oh, this is a toughie. I got to tell you, Conclave has an amazing score. The Brutalist has an amazing score. And Challengers has an amazing score. I mean, Dune Part 2 is good, but it's not as, again, and maybe it is a little repetitive. Thank you, John Kamara. I gotta agree with you. I think Challengers, because that music just transformed that movie. Although I gotta say, I wouldn't be mad if the Brutalist won, because the Brutalist soundtrack, you haven't heard it yet. When you hear the Brutalist soundtrack, you'll be like, it's so Nolan-y. Christopher Nolan. It's very good. I mean, I must say, it's not a direct copy of Nolan's style like Sam Mendes likes to do, but the Brutalist is very Nolan-coded. So I think, it hasn't blown up yet. That's right, Bry Films. The Brutalist score, it is life-changing. I would agree with that. It's really good. Yeah, it is. He's like the new Ludwig Göransson. It's really strong. So I would either go with the Brutalist or Challengers, to be honest with you. As for who will win, I think it's going to either be Emilia Perez, or I honestly would say the Brutalist. I think there's a very strong chance the Brutalist will win. I think it's very, very strong. Seb would like to see, Seb, you're talking about animated film. Oh, so for score. Yeah, that's nice the Wild Robot is nominated, but I don't think it's going to win. I think it's Emilia Perez or the Brutalist. Or maybe even Challengers. I'm telling you, you haven't heard the Brutalist score yet. I think it's going to win. And I would not be sad. All right, time to move into film. All right, everybody, take a drink of water. I didn't bring any water over today, but take a drink of water. We're moving into the next section. Oh, my goodness. All right, section number 2, television. Best drama series. We're going to go through them in sections, all right? Best drama series. I got to tell you, The Day of the Jackal, in my opinion, is super slow, and I've only watched one episode, and I feel it's a scooch boring. It had some interesting ideas there. But it's really, it's a hot show. I'm going to go back and revisit it. The Diplomat! I'm so happy. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, although the fact that Mr. and Mrs. Smith is an anthology series now, and that also, by the way, the Russian male lead from Anora, the guy that she marries, he just got cast in the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So, worlds colliding. Shogun, Slow Horses, and Squid Game. It seems kind of unfair that Shogun is in here because Shogun already won everything. So you're like, what the heck, man? Because it came out, remember, at the beginning of the year. So I wish that Squid Game had done better. I gotta tell you, as for who should win, I'm gonna go with Squid Game. I've seen the entire season 2. I tweeted about it this morning because the social media embargo lifted. But I've seen it. You haven't. Hardly anyone has. I think it's the best series of the year. I think that it should win. As for who will win, I think it's going to be Shogun. Because the Golden Globes is like, dude, we got to get in on this. Everybody's giving it to Shogun. So I think Shogun will take home yet another trophy. But I do think that it should be Squid Game. But it's not going to be. Especially because it only has one. That's its only nomination. All right. Next up. Actor in a drama series. Sorry, I didn't capture this one at the right point. Some of these are a little hard to read, and I only realized that after I started capturing them. All right, so, because they're animated, and they only have like a darker background towards the end. Look how ridiculous 6 nominations is. Oh, everybody gets nominated. It's so stupid. Although Jake Gyllenhaal being nominated here for Presumed Innocent is a pretty big win for him. And Eddie Redmayne, we all thought his career was over, but apparently it's not. All right, as for who should win, it's pretty clearly Hiroyuki Sanada, and he pretty clearly will win. I don't really think I have some family members who love Landman, by the way. They love it. They think it's the new Succession. But I see people making fun of it on the Twitters, so I actually haven't watched it. But that's amazing that he's nominated, Billy Bob Thornton. But it should be Hiroyuki Sanada, especially in this category. I think he doesn't have any strong competition. Sorry, everybody else who's been nominated. All right, then... Best Actress in a Drama Series. How the hell is Matlock a drama? I saw the trailer. Kathy Bates was chuckling. But it's ridiculous that's in this category. Oh, Heather likes Landman too. Oh, I got to get on that apparently. All right, so yeah, Kathy Bates, man. I don't understand that. Now, there are a lot of great actresses in this category. Emma Darcy for House of the Dragon, Maya Erskine for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Kerry Russell for The Diplomat, but Anna Sawai. The acting is just too strong. I'm sorry, everybody else. Even I think she should win, even though I really love a lot of these other performances. Oh, Lucas is watching Matlock. Thank you for doing that for all of us, Lucas. And he says it is indeed a drama. Interesting. Okay. Then, musical comedy series. Abbott Elementary, still the GOAT. The Bear, The Gentleman, that's that Guy Ritchie Netflix series. Hacks, nobody wants this. That last-minute rom-com that took Hollywood by storm. And then, that old workhorse, Only Murders in the Building. All right, I think, usually it would be The Bear would win this. But I think The Bear, again, season 3 was so awful. So who do I think should win? I'm going to go with Hacks. Season 3 of Hacks was so freaking good. It's just incredible. I think the fact that Nobody Wants This, but it's a very light show. And the fact that Nobody Wants This is even nominated, I feel is really nice for it. As for who will win, I think it's Hacks or Abbott Elementary. I don't think it's going to be The Bear because, again, and I think this is for this actual last season of The Bear, which, again, truly awful. I think it'll be Hacks or Abbott Elementary. All right. Actor in a comedy series. This is all over the place as well. All right, so you've got Steve Martin and Martin Short for Only Murders. Jeremy Allen White, of course, is there. Jason Segel for Shrinking. What the what? And then Ted Danson, last minute, for A Man on the Inside. And also Adam Brody for Nobody Wants This. So this is for the last season. I'm going to say I would give it actually to Steve Martin. I thought that what he had to deal with was the murder of his stunt double in Only Murders was really incredible this year. I would be happy with Martin Short too. I don't think these guys get enough credit for what they do on Only Murders in the Building. So I would like it to be one of them. Choose the Bear. You're right there. You might be typing in blocked words. You didn't do anything bad. You're still good. Oh, why are you blocked on X? I don't know. Talk to me about it on X. I don't even know what your profile is over there. All right, so who will win? Usually it would be Jeremy Allen White, but again, The Bear was awful. So I think it might be, it might be Adam Brody, to be honest with you. I think there's a chance it could be him. But, I'd love it to be one of these Only Murders guys, again. But I think they split the vote. That might be the problem with that show. I think that maybe that's what it is. Maybe that we've just figured it out. They split the vote amongst themselves. All right, actress. There's Selena Gomez. Woohoo! But look at that. Let me get my arrow out here. Catherine Hahn for Agatha All Along. I am delighted that her work got recognized here. I could not be happier for that. That's incredible. All right, so she's going up against some very tough competition. But I got to say, for as who should win, I'm going Catherine Hahn, baby. I thought she was incredible. The way she did that reveal, when she talked about who what was really happening on The Witch's Road. Again, no spoilers if for some reason you haven't watched the show. I mean, with all due respect to Jean Smart, Catherine Hahn was just a force of nature on Agatha all along. And she was asked to do so much nuance. She was funny. She was sad, dealing with the death of her son. Her conflicted feelings for Rio. How she felt about Teen. I mean, she just had everything. I really think, and I would love for her to actually win. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be wonderful if we lived in a world where she did win? But I think it's going to be Jean Smart. It would be nice if it was Selena Gomez. Maybe Eugenio Derbez being mean to her might help her with a win. Maybe he might go even beyond the noms. Maybe she might get a win because of that. I think it'll be, and people love Io, deservedly so. And Quinta Brunson, this is a tough category. I think Kristen Bell is probably the weakest link. But it's pretty wide open as for who will actually win. But I think it should be Catherine Hahn. All right. Lisa, that's a great point, that Agatha is an awful person, but you still love her thanks to Catherine Hahn's performance. Very true. Let's see here. B. Brown, did you ask Santa for a Catherine Hahn win? That's very kind of you to use your request to Santa for that. All right, so best limited series. Again, too many good things, too much good stuff. But by the way, is Disclaimer that good on Apple TV? I'm so happy that Monsters is here. That makes me so happy. Penguin, Ripley, True Detective. This is incredible television right here. All right, so who should win? Who do I think should win? Oh, gosh. These bottom four. Oh, what a Sophie's choice for me. I just love all these shows so much. But, nothing excited me quite like Monsters. I thought Monsters was incredible. And the fact that it opened up, I think, such an interesting discussion to not only abuse, but the abuse of men and boys was really important. And I think that it just totally changed the way many people felt about the Menendez situation. So I think, and also I just thought it was so visceral, and I thought the acting was incredible. I just really was a fan of that show. So that's who I think should win. As for who will win, I think it's probably Baby Reindeer. I think there's a lot of strong competition here. I think, True Detective maybe has the shot. Maybe Penguin, but I think Penguin, like The Substance, the nomination is the win. I think Baby Reindeer will win. All right. Then as for actor in a limited or anthology or whatever, Penguin nominated here again as well. Cooper Koch. Mr. Cooper Koch. For that one episode, I'm sure, which is just the one single long take with him describing what he went through. What his Menendez brother went through. That's a huge win for his career. That's going to really push him. He has not signed on for anything just yet. He wants to do American Psycho. I want him to do American Psycho. Many of you want him to do American Psycho. Maybe this will help him. Maybe he was waiting for something like this to try and get his next gig. I think this only strengthens his position. So I'm so happy for him. I'm very happy for Colin Farrell. And I'm very happy for Andrew Scott because I really liked Ripley. I feel Ripley didn't get more credit. The brother, Lisa, is Lyle, the quieter brother, right? That's Lyle, right? They're very similar. All right. Who should win? I'm going to go with Cooper Koch. I really liked him on the show. I thought he was amazing. I thought that he was, he really added such nuance and sympathy, and I just think he's such a talent. And that, the way he was able to show the mental anguish that his character was going through, and with, and make himself sympathetic instead of like, what a whiny crybaby. You were instead like, but look what this guy's going through. So I couldn't be happier that he's here. As for who will win, we all know it's going to be Richard Gadd. Especially because there's no writing in the Golden Globes for television. So Colin Farrell, that would be a delight. I think, there's a chance. It would be nice to see the Penguin take home something. Maybe Baby Reindeer gets Best Series Limited, and maybe Colin Farrell takes home, he's the one who actually wins. But we'll see. But I think it's probably between these two for who will actually win. Maybe Cooper Koch has the shot, but I don't think, I think the nomination is the win. Actress in a limited series or anthology or television movie. Penguin! Kristen Milioti is nominated here as well, and that's a big deal for Sofia Vergara to be nominated for Griselda. That's a big deal for her. Kate Winslet. I can't believe she's in here for one of the worst pieces of television I ever saw in the regime. That's nuts to me. All right, so as for who should win, and Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster, she's the one to beat here, obviously. She won the Emmy. I kind of like Kristen Milioti. I thought her performance got a little ridiculous as the series went on, but she did a really nice job. So just to throw a bone the Penguins' way, maybe she's the one who takes it for the series. As for who will win, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Jodie Foster. I think she has a shot, Milioti, but I think Jodie Foster probably is going to be the one who actually wins it. All right, let's see. It's whether or not the Golden Globes decides to differ from the Emmys. All right, then we've got Best Supporting in any piece of television. They all go into one group for supporting. So all three groups funnel into one for supporting. All right, so you've got, Tadanobu Asano for Shogun, Javier Bardem for Monsters. That's incredible that he got nominated for that. Harrison Ford for Shrinking, Jack Lowden for Slow Horses. Diego Luna is the only nomination for La Machina. That's a limited comedy series on Hulu. And then Eben Moss Barak from The Bear. Now, usually if The Bear was, again, a stronger season, he would be a shoo-in. But I got to tell you, I agree with Lewis. Tabanabu Asanu, he should win. He doesn't have any, he lost out at the Emmys. He was just so incredible in Shogun. He was the scheming, lord. He was so good. It's the best thing I've ever seen him do. I totally appreciate him more as an actor. I feel bad that he hasn't gotten better roles in Hollywood. I think he should win. And I got to tell you, I think he will win. There's some chance that Iban takes it again, but I think he deserves to win. I think it should be him. I would hope that the Golden Globes fix this mistake. All right, no victor from the Penguin, Ben, because again, this is every group in one category here. Then, actress, best supporting actress in any piece of television. You can see Liza Colon-Zayas for The Bear. She won at the Emmys. Hannah Einbinder for Hacks. Dakota Fanning for Ripley. Jessica Gunning for Baby Reindeer. Allison Janney for The Diplomat. She's incredible on that show. But her role will be even bigger in season 3, so hold out on that. And then Callie Reese for True Detective Night Country, and she did a wonderful job. That's right, Lewis. No Patti LuPone for Agatha, but there is just too much competition in the category. Who should win? I want to give it to my girl Allison Janney, and I really liked Callie Reese. I'm going to go with Hannah Einbinder for Hacks. Hacks is very much a two-hander, and Hannah Einbinder doesn't ever get anything for it, and I think that should be fixed. That would be my opinion. As for who will win, Liza taking it because she won the Emmy is very strong. Jessica Gunning for Baby Reindeer, also the winner of the Emmy because they have different categories for supporting. I think very possible. I think it's probably between Liza and Jessica, to be honest with you. Let's see. Art lover again. Everybody who's watched The Diplomat knows what I'm talking about. All right, then we've got, this is the last category, which makes no sense. Best stand-up comedy performance for television. What? And the nominations are even bizarre. You're leaving out a lot of people here. You know who I think's probably going to win? Nikki Glaser, who's hosting this whole thing. I think she's probably going to win because she's the host. So we'll see who actually does win. It would be pretty awkward if she lost, but I probably think that she's going to win. So I think that's pretty funny. All right, so those are the Golden Globe nominations. So let's do our Q&A. All right, so 10-minute Q&A. So it's 11:34 to 11:44. Do you have any questions about the awards, please? Awards season. Please don't ask me about other stuff. Oh, thank you, Danny. That's very kind of you. Oh, it's Mikey? Thank you, future movie actor. Thank you. Mark Curry says, do you think Wicked will do well at the Oscars? I think it'll get lots of nominations. The wins is the question. It could end up being this year's Barbie. There's a chance. Thank you, Dancing Dog 60. Julian Sense says, how about Dune? How do you think Dune will do? I think that, they're a very strong, they're extremely strong, smaller films this year. And I think that Academy and industry voters are always going to gravitate towards those for actual wins, I'm sorry to say. Paul Brunel says, what do you think the biggest surprise will be? Well, I think we've already been surprised here, and that's that Emilia Perez has so many nominations. That is huge for the movie. If it can keep that momentum going, that's going to be a big deal. Some people had argued that Wicked would be the answer, Hollywood's answer to Trump winning. I saw that theory put out there by one of the trades that, that would be Hollywood's response, that they would give the award to Wicked. But maybe they'd go with Emilia Perez instead. I think that that's fascinating. That's the more artistic, smaller film, more out there film. Jay, I don't think I'm going to review Black Doves, but I'm really glad that you liked it. That's a nice win for Keira Knightley. I don't think she has to go around dissing Pirates of the Caribbean, but, she's pulling an Anne Hathaway there. Future movie actress says Diane Warren has 2 already, so not too bummed about The Journey from 6888. Well, I just think that film is just too small to really get any attention. They just sent it out, by the way. I just got that screener. Hey, Tanya, thank you for gifting those memberships. Thank you. Danny says, are the Golden Globes still indicative of the Oscars? They are. They have been. For some reason, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association really kind of has tended to have like a finger on the pulse of what Hollywood is thinking. And then also, the Oscar votes haven't even started yet. And I think you can't help but sway the votes when you see these kinds of conversations. The Golden Globes help shape the conversation because you're talking about the nominees and they get more attention. And so I do think that's one of the reasons that it does affect the Oscars. Oscar voting hasn't even started yet for the nominees, much less the winners. Charles says, are there any awards shows where the general public gets to vote? I think at the People's Choice Awards are the only awards where the public gets to vote. And the MTV Awards, which used to mean something, damn it. The MTV Movie Awards used to mean something, but then they just became too tweeny. Isaiah says, how do you feel about the second half of The Brutalist? My review will go up in the next week or so. I do talk about what I think the movie is about. I'm still thinking about it, though. It's really one that you chew on. Marky Mark says, how do bad shows like The Bear Season 3 end up nominated if no one likes them? I think there's like something about prestige. I think it's too much not to nominate them at all, but I think the message that is sent probably is that they do not win. Oh, Daniel, I'm glad you got to see The Brutalist and you loved it as well. Yeah, very strong movie. Michael says maybe they'll wait for Wicked Part 2 for the awards, kind of like how Lord of the Rings only got awards with the final film. Great theory, Michael. Yoink, I like that. Let's use that. And also I think, when they weave in the actual original Wizard of Oz story to Part 2, maybe that'll make it more accessible to the industry voters. And it'll have original songs. They've written new songs for the second half. Maybe that'll be it. Let's see here. Lewis says, do you think Sing Sing can recover after only getting 1 nomination here? I think it's tough. I think, again, Emilia Perez might have drinking its milkshake, People, the industry falls in love with a movie. But I think, there's no denying that Coleman Domingo's career is on the way up. Gia, I have no idea how Challengers is a comedy. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Alexander Padilla says, with Selena Gomez nominations for Emilia Perez, do you think that she can get an Oscar nomination? And do you also think that she can be taken more seriously as an actress? I gotta tell you, with all due respect to Selena Gomez, I don't think she is a serious actress. I think she's a really strong personality, and I think she reminds me like a comedic actress to some degree, like Lucille Ball, right? I think that she's never going to be one of those great dramatic actresses, and that's okay. Not everybody is everything. But I think Selena Gomez is very charismatic. I think she's very good at what she does. And I think her career could not be in a better space. Is she going to get nominated for an Oscar? I didn't get any water, sorry. I don't know, let's see. I think that the Eugenio Derbez comment really helped her. Choose the Bear says, is there anyone who was not nominated that you wish was? Choose the Bear, is that your Twitter handle? Let me take a picture of it and go take a look after the stream. I always say the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I'll go take a look at it, okay? Anyone not nominated that I wish was nominated? I'm pretty happy with these nominations, to be honest with you. I wish Squid Game had gotten some love in the acting categories, like the actor who plays the trans character. But I mean, I guess when you have, an actual trans actress and Emilia Perez, that's what the industry is going to go with. But I wouldn't discount the Squid Game performance. I thought that was very strong. Linzek, that's pretty funny. That's right. MTV used to mean something, period. Burn. And it's particularly scalding because it's true. Hey, Jesus says, hey, Grace, do you think the Bear can bounce back from their bad season? I'm not sure. I'm glad you like my thumb holes. I'm not sure because I think they shot those seasons back to back. And so, as one of you recently pointed out, the problem with shooting something back to back is that you can't course correct when maybe there's a bad reaction to what you filmed. And so I'm very nervous for the Bear season 4. Jenna, I'm so happy. As an Emilia Perez fan, you must be over the moon right now. Hey, Fasilla. Matthew says, hey, Grace, long-time watcher, first-time member. I love it. Hello. Really appreciate your criticism being respectful, but also thoughtful and business-minded. Oh, you're just saying something nice. Thank you. Oh, Niall, you know what? You're right. Anthony Starr. I feel bad that Anthony Starr wasn't nominated, and I do feel bad that Interview with the Vampire didn't get any love either. The Boys and the Interview with the Vampire are phenomenal pieces of television, and I would have liked to have seen them get some recognition. I think that the fact that Anthony Starr was invited by the Emmys to be one of their iconic villains is a good sign that maybe he might get a nomination next time around. Let's see here. Kev is going to a mystery showing of a film. Hopefully it's Baby Girl or The Brutalist. There's no losing there. Those are both good movies. Although they're both pretty adult, particularly Baby Girl. I'd be surprised if they showed Baby Girl to an audience as a surprise. Dancing Dog 6, do you think I don't think Harrison Ford's going to win. It's funny that he's nominated. Yes, Lisa, the second half of Wicked has been filmed. They're still working on it in post, but it's in the can. Doesn't mean they couldn't do reshoots if they wanted to. Although I believe both actresses look significantly different than they did when they were filming, so that might be hard to do. Future movie actor says, song's been out over a year and maybe her. What song are you talking about? I'm not sure what song you're talking about. Adam Sphere says, can I watch The Brutalist with my parents? Yes, you can, because what the adult elements are not too overt. If you could watch Shawshank Redemption with your parents, you could watch The Brutalist with your parents. Lewis Berry says, Fallout getting nothing and Denise getting snubbed for director are the biggest snubs in their opinion. That's certainly, legit. Chris, I'm glad you're going to see Wicked. I hope you enjoy it. And Motivator just finally saw Wicked. Such a good movie. I've seen it 3 times in theaters. I loved it every time just as much. Jackie Boy says, what's your favorite awards ceremony? It's got to be the Oscars, because the Oscars are the Oscars. I wish they weren't so late. They're way too late. They should be moved up to February. But I really, the Oscars are iconic. They are the award. And so to me, they're still the best. Carlos says, I don't believe Demi Moore will win, but I'm hoping it does revitalize her career. Oh, she's your favorite actress and you named your daughter after her. How sweet. I definitely think that her career has been revived. I don't know if she's fully back, but she'll get work off of the substance. Hey, Tanya, welcome. Dan says, what's the next awards to kind of show who will get an Oscar nomination? The Guild Awards are very telling. SAG, Directors, Writers Guild Award. BAFTA, also to some degree, because the BAFTA, so many people, there's a lot of crossover in the votership. That's where you're going to see a lot of indication as to who might win. Let's see here. Wanda's attorney says, do you see a career win for Zoe Saldana? I think she's a very strong contender for Best Supporting. I think she's the one to beat. Kyle says, I'm so excited for The Substance. It has so many nominations. Please watch it. It has some great social commentary and doesn't get too gross until the end. I'll watch it. I'll watch it after Christmas. I will watch it. Zeke says, oh, Zeke, that's not an awards question, Zeke. Cup of Tea wants me to do a viewer watch along for The Substance. That's not a bad idea. Maybe I will. That's not a bad idea. But I don't know. I'm voting on it. I really want to be paying attention to it. Blick says, Blix, thank you again for your generosity earlier. What's your opinion on the Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh Pugh movie? I haven't seen it. It just seems too sad for me. It didn't seem like a front runner. And I was like, I just don't know if that's something I can sit through. Lisa says Anthony Starr is the most disrespected actor in Hollywood. Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't get more credit for The Boys. It's kind of weird. Let's see here. I'm going back. I missed some stuff here. Matthew Gonzalez says, do you think awards voters over-prioritize niche films over commercial ones? I still feel The Shape of Water was overhyped. You and me both, as I like to say. You leave that fish alone, lady. That fish does not like you. I felt so bad. She was like romanticizing the fish, and the fish was just over there eating its breakfast. I do think that they do that. I think that they do that because they feel like they're like Thanos. They feel they're creating balance. They're like, those movies might not get a lot of money at the box office, but they're the ones that win the awards. And I think it makes them feel better about what they do for a living. And that's understandable. I think that it's very hard to make a movie that it's a mega success. And I think that they feel that your reward is the career advancement and the money that you get. And that's why if you are a commercial filmmaker and you want to win awards, you have to come over and play that game. And that's why you've seen Spielberg do it, and Nolan do it, although Nolan still made a lot of money too. But I think it's human, It's just a reality. With big movies, they used to win more than they do now, although The Dark Knight famously was snubbed. Avatar famously didn't win for The Hurt Locker. But, back in the day, Gladiator won. Big movies used to win. But that was, I think, pre-Jaws, before the box office became like a thing. And movies like, I think that has changed perspective of some people. Like Gone with the Wind won. Like big movies used to win. But it's different these days. Atmosphere. Dune Prophecy lost you. Somebody else was just telling me they love Dune Prophecy. Zach Abbey, Selena Gomez and Jennifer Aniston comparison. That's a pretty good comparison, actually. Sherm says the secret movie is probably September 5th. That's a good bet. Maisie's also seen Wicked 3 times. It's a great movie. The rewatchability factor is nuts. That's right, Care Bear. Titanic Titanic. Although Titanic was a special kind of movie. I mean, the craftsmanship on that. I mean, it was the first billion-dollar film. I mean, everybody was just blown away by that. Zach West, the voters for the Golden Globes are the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. And that is reporters who cover Hollywood for outside countries, who work within the who cover the Hollywood films. They have expanded their membership. They've, because they got in trouble for that. They were not a diverse group. They have tried to fix that, but that's who votes. It's like Critics' Choice Association, but European. Zeke, I saw your super chat. Did I see your last one? Oh, here we go. All right. Who just gifted? Blix again. Blix, your generosity is incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much. You've made 110 people very happy today by gifting them memberships. Thank you. B. Brown says, do you see any hope for the Penguin to have a win? I think Kristen Milioti and Colin Farrell are the best shots at a win. I don't think it's going to win best show, series, limited series, but I think the acting categories are strongest for them. Let's see here. Future movie actor, I already talked about. I don't think that the 6888, I think Tyler Perry is going to have a hard time being taken seriously by awards voters. I'm sorry to say. Because of some of the things we just talked about. Zeke says, sorry, I thought we were just asking general questions. Your awards question is, do you think Nicole Kidman is a shoo-in for Best Actress after seeing Baby Girl? I think she's the front runner. I think she's a very strong front runner. I think there is a very strong chance she could win. Dory says, have you ever attended the Oscars? I didn't attend the Oscars, but a couple of years ago, before the pandemic, Dolby invited me out to do some behind-the-scenes coverage pre-show. So I got to go into the Dolby auditorium. I got to see the stage from the audience, from the balcony. I got to see the walk where you go after you won your Oscar to go to the press room, and it was really very cool. That's right, Anthony Starr is making money with that mobile game ad. I hope it was a lot, because it's kind of uncool. Chandler says, hi, Grace. Why do you look at iTunes top movies but not the top shows? Because we already have Nielsen, I think, is a better barometer of that. But I want to just see how movies are doing in the digital rental space, in the purchase space. So that's why I do that. Jenna says, I was really hoping for Mia Goth as a nomination because of the X movies. But Maxine was unfortunately the weakest received of them all. And I think that's unfortunately what happened. Hey, Hughes. Elpidio, you don't pay to attend the Oscars. You have to be invited. And I believe Academy members are invited, and they give out groups of tickets to the films. That, everyone who's nominated gets themselves in a +1. Certain films get extra tickets. I think the studios get tickets. So they give it often to people who were not nominated, who are associated with the film, and also, of course, presenters attend and they get a +1. And all the Academy members, well, there's so many that there's a lottery as to who actually can attend. And that's how they fill out the auditorium. And I think if you're nominated, you can get some extra tickets in the nosebleed seats for your relatives, because we always are like, my relative's up there somewhere. All right, we're way over the 10 minutes. Good luck tomorrow with your entertainment law internship interview. I hope you get in. That's an exciting career path. I must go. We're over the time. I had such a great time talking about this with you. Thanks for another great live stream. My review of War of the Rohirrim will go up tomorrow, and Craven coverage this week, and we're going to have another great fun week together. All right, everybody. Mwah. See you soon. Bye-bye.